Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mindset Monday. Today is Monday, February 9th, 2026. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, a spectacular weekend, whether you're in the cold or you are experiencing extra cold weather like Jamaica and other warm places. But I'm so happy that you are sharing the goodness with us because we are extremely cold here. So we are spreading it all around the globe so you can experience or you can help or you can share with us. We love sharing. Sharing is caring.
Mhm.
So today is Monday, and we are in our year of flow, and we're flowing in different aspects. We're talking about flow in different areas of life. But before we dive into our wonderful topic this evening and share with you a special guest that we have, I just wanted to check in with you because we started this year with few things. And one of the things we started with is our money exercise. And I want to know where you're at with your money exercise. Whether you start with the dollar or you start with $5 or you start on the reverse, you put the largest amount first, $52,
52.
if you start with the smallest um, denomination, which is the dollar. So, whichever you start with, let me know where you're at. For me, I started with the dollar. So, this week, which is February 9th, I am at, no, it's February 7th. So, that's the week that's passed. So, I'm at $21
Total.
total $21. It may look tiny, but as the weeks go by, you will see how it amounts to a huge amount. And if you started with the $52, you would have much more than what I have. I did not do it that way, so I can't tell you. Next week I may be able to tell you with you doing the 50, starting with the 52 and then coming down. So I'll let you know where you would be if you had done the 52. But for us, where we did the dollar each week, the dollar we do the each week. So the first week was a dollar, the second week was $2, and this week is $21. All right. So we started this year with flow, and the month of this quarter, we are looking at flow. We're looking at flow, creating a flow state, and techniques to personal productivity. And just going back to what we ended last the year 2025, we created plans, we set goals, we have our dream board, we have our things, our vision in our phone, we have everything that we set up to win, everything that we need to become or to remain good steward of what God has entrusted in us to us. Because the end, we should be good stewards of our time, our talent, and our resources. And whatever we have, whether it's small or great, we are accountable to God for what He has given to us. Because if He gives us little and we're able to manage it, then who to tell that it will expound? And if he gives us much, he expects us to expound on it. As the word said, the word of God, the Bible, our roadmap says, to whom much is given, much is required. So whatever you have, God is looking or has entrusted to us so we can be good stewards. At the end of the day, we will hear, well done. I remember as little children, we had chores to do. And when we were finished, we're always looking for an incentive, and mom would give us little stuff, you know. So I'm just thinking of our good father. He is just waiting to say well done, but we need to do well to hear well done. Anyway, today we have a special guest, and she will be sharing with us some important things. But while she gets ready, I just wanted to recap what
Mm.
we did last week.
Last week. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness.
Just a little bit of what we did last week.
Okay. Well, we did talk about establish flow, right? Establish flow. And of course, that was or that is to establish flow in your life, find activities where a clear, challenging goal meets your skill level. So whatever your skill level is, whether it's a plumber, a carpenter, a seamstress, a
Mechanic.
mechanic, whatever it is, you need to um, uh, challenge your goal to meet your skill set, right? Challenge it, challenge it. Be better than who you are now, today. So if that means that you need to study, you don't have to go back to school, right? There's so many YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many online courses now that you don't need to go to school per se to maximize on your skill set, right?
However,
Hmm.
if you want to get a certification,
Well, yes.
you need to go further. But there's a start. If you are feeling that you are no longer sharp, search through to see what's there so you can, sharpen your skills, and then you can get the certification that you need. Of course, for the most of our career path, each year, or some of them is, I think, 2 years, you need to do credits in order to keep you
In the know.
current, to keep you current. So for CPAs, you have to do CE credits. For EAs, you have to do CE credits. For even tax accountants, you would need to do upgrades each year in order to stay current, because things change, laws change.
Hmm.
So it's important to know what is there so you're able to take care of your clients and give them the best or the right information according to the laws that is prevailing at the time.
Okay, wonderful. And if it doesn't require, for you to get more certification, you can just do a course so that your skill level can be better,
Mhm.
right? Because the skill level as a plumber, right? You might not know how to do X or Y, or not too verse on it. So get to know, because whether you have a certificate, yes or no, whether you have a diploma, yes or no, the fact of the matter is knowledge. When you have the knowledge, that cannot be removed from your brain. Well, unless you have some brain tumor, you have some brain disease, or something like that. But knowledge is real power, right? Not necessarily a doctorate or a PhD or something like that. No, that's not necessarily knowledge, right? The knowledge is when you do something every day, when you use something every day, and help people, especially if you help people, because the fact of the matter is that when you are being blessed with whatever you are being blessed with, the reason we are blessed with what we are blessed with is to assist others.
Amen.
Beautiful. And so Also, minimize distraction, right? Minimize distraction. You have to minimize distraction because yes, we know going out with the boys and chilling out or going out with the girls and have a girl night or a girl day every week or every 2 nights you go out with your girls and all of that. You could be you know maximizing on your skill level instead, or learning a new skill.
Mm-hmm.
Learning a new skill, all right? Because as I said, knowledge, you can never have enough. You can never have enough. All right? Learn a new language. Learn to sing. Learn to play an instrument. Learn, oh my goodness. The list is so many. All right? You don't have to be Einstein, so to speak, or have an IQ of 160. No, right? You
But
can
use what you have.
use what you
Use
have.
what you have and maximize it.
Mhm.
So as you go, your life will be even more productive and fulfilling because you are going in the direction where you're always achieving something. You're staying present, you're staying focused, you're assisting someone, whether you're working in a soup kitchen or you're assisting in some way, whether you're singing with the voice God gives you, to someone and they are cheered up by it, they are elevated, they are feeling strong. I, I it reminds me of is it David when he played so skillfully on that
Heart.
harp,
Oh, heart.
how our Saul was
Comforted.
comforted by it,
Hmm.
and so he was able to get out of that state. So whatever it is,
Mm.
you can do, use what you have. Going back to Moses, when
Mm.
God said, what is it in your hand?
Mm.
Use what you have. So whatever you have, you can start with and you can get somewhere. And you don't need to do it by yourself
No.
because there are resources out there for to help you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Now, looking at, just thinking about what we are doing now,
Hmm.
just reminding you that tax season is upon us. And remember to, as soon as you get your documents, gather them so you can put them in order and prepare to take them to your tax accountant. Being proactive again, making use of the time you have. Remember, we are steward of whatever we have. So the time you have, make use of it. Put your stuff together. When you get the mails, don't throw them down. Open them. It's, if you can, it's better to open them as soon as they come. So none of the tax documents are discarded. So you're able to deal with it, do it, or prepare, put all of them together so your tax accountant can get them and he or she can prepare your taxes accordingly.
Oh, mercy. Just to let Dr. Karen know, if you are able to hear me, Dr. Karen, you need not the YouTube link. Don't you click on the YouTube link. So presently you are over in YouTube. So you would not be able to speak over in YouTube. You have to click on the link that says
Meet in.
meetin.com/, Mindset Monday. That's the link that you have to click on to come into the meeting platform and not on YouTube. Because presently you are on YouTube, and so unfortunately, you will not be able to speak from over there.
I'm gonna email it to
And
her.
you will not be able to use the um, yes, meeting allow mic. You have to
Allow
click
the
on the
mic.
link. You have to allow the mic. You came on the meeting platform before and you speak before.
So it's the
So
same,
it's the
it's the same
same,
link.
same process, same link, same process. All right. So just click on the link and come on over,
Looking
Dr. Karen.
forward to seeing you.
Yes, definitely, definitely. All right. So click on the link and come on over. You have to allow the microphone. Okay. All right. Wonderful. So I do hope she heard.
Yes, she heard.
All right.
So
Wonderful.
she'll be coming on soon.
And the link was also sent to your email.
Sending it.
All right. Or it was sent to your
Yeah,
she have WhatsApp,
I texted to her.
and it was text. It is text to you. So you have text, and if you have whatever flyer you had to come on the YouTube, um, come use the link above it, which is
Meet and link.
meetn.com/mindset Monday, one word. All right. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Karen. All right. Okay. So as we continue, right? As I was saying, minimize distraction. Minimize distraction. Because we are distracted very easily, We are, and that is why, for me, I study the way I study, or I read the way I do things the way I do things. For me, when I have the radio playing or the TV on, well, not TV, because, I don't like advertisement. So I would have maybe a movie or a show going on that doesn't come with advertisement, and that will be playing, and maybe some music playing also in the background. And I am good to go with studying or anything, because now my I guess what happened, because this has been from school days. So I guess what happened to me is that the noise is already there. I guess this is how I can explain it. The noise is already there. So at some point, my brain gets used to that noise, because it's just get used to it. Because where I lived, especially when I was a little boy, a young boy, coming up in high school and so on, where I used to live, I tell you, it was a lot of outside noise. All right, people, and board house, board house, a person whisper at a passing your gate, and you hear them loud, loud, loud in your bedroom. Okay, so that is what I had to deal with. And then every now and again you hear gunshot, and you hear this, you hear a car speeding around the road, and yeah, and all of these things are distraction. So I started out with Francois and play some nice 91.1 FM, and some nice music. So my distraction was now limited. It was just the music playing or the TV going, and I am good to go, or a movie going on. Those times it was VHS, you put in a 4-hour VHS cassette,
Okay.
and it's just playing, and you're good to go. Well, I good to go. All right. So that is how I you know deal with my distractions. So I guess my brain does get used to it, and so I'm not distracted when a shout or a noise or a gunshot or something out on the road, and I am here looking what is happening, so to speak, and distract me from my little work, right? So minimize distraction by creating focused environment. See, yeah, that was how I was focused. Because after a while I get used to that nice music playing and what have you. So it wasn't a distraction, right? And practice mindfulness to stay present. Practice mindfulness to stay
Present.
present. All right, wonderful. Welcome. What is that, Nancy? That look like Queen Nancy. Welcome. Yep, and so it. I minimize distraction that way, right? All right. and I think Dr. Karen just came on also. So it is my way. Everybody need to find their way, right, to increase productivity,
Activity.
increase productivity, right, and creativity and fulfillment in work and personal pursuit. So whatever you are pursuing, right, focus on it. Don't let anything or anyone distract you, because when you are distracted, oh my goodness, it's hard to come back
Hmm.
from that distraction.
As
Mm.
Dr. Paul would say, whatever you're doing, study it, fall in love with it,
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it. And once you know it, you become a pro, because the only way you can master something is when you understand what you're dealing with and
Mm.
you're able to apply it or teach it to someone else.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful. Definitely. And so you need to love what you're doing. If you are in a job and you don't love it, then
Find another
branch
way, branch out.
branch into something that you
Mhm.
love. Okay? Branch into something that you love, because you're going to frustrate yourself and you're going to frustrate your co-workers. And of course, at some point, you're going to maybe frustrate your manager or the owner for the company. So try your very best to maximize on on what you do. So
So,
mhm.
right now we have Dr. Karen in the house.
Yeah, but she's not unmuting.
Dr. Karen, you need to unmute so we can hear you.
Or maybe you need to come out with your phone instead of the laptop, or laptop instead of your phone, whichever one. All right. Um, however, right, moving along, we as we said, um, balancing deep work with mindful breaks and nourishing nourishing passion are keys for sustained flow. All right. So, eh?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Amen, church. All right. So it has to be nurtured. Anything you are doing needs to be nurtured. All right. So that is why you are to love what you are doing. Fortunately for me, I love what I do. I love what I do. And if one person is on the meeting platform, and that one person is me, then I love it. Um, because I love speaking with people. I love being around people, and so that's why I ensure that God bless me with a woman, so that anytime I need to speak, or anytime I need to um, be in the presence of company, I have company right there, right here, right here, right here, because I love people. I love being around people. So find what you love. And so if you love being around people, maybe you can get into the medical field. Maybe you can get into some field that involve people,
Mhm.
right?
Or assist in communities where you can share your expertise,
Mm-hmm.
because you may what you're doing, you may not be around people, because if you're in audio, if you're in technology, most of the time you work solo. But if you love people, find a way that you can share a little bit of what you do
Mm-hmm.
with a community. You there are a lot of nursing homes and places that they have community events that they would love for people to come and share a 15-20 minutes with
Mm-hmm.
them. So whatever you can do to give of yourself. Oh, Dr. Karen is here now.
All right. But she's still not
No,
unmuted.
no, man,
No, I
she's
am.
Oh, right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
So let me
All
get
right.
off. I
Was
may.
just keeping your chair warm.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why that happened. It's still not perfect, but I'm on my phone instead. That's all
Don't have
right.
to be perfect. Don't have to be perfect. You're
Mhm.
fine the way you are.
And I did
Now,
have other notes that were with me, but that's, oh, here they are. All right. So I didn't hear the very beginning of what you said today, but I was listening for the last 5 minutes. And hello, everybody. I think I know some of you. I see Maxine. I see Barbara. I see Jacqueline. Nancy, I know you were on before. And Joan. Hi, sweetie. Hi, everybody. Um, Now, I was having trouble because when I wanted to get on my iPad, it was saying allow your microphone and your video, but I couldn't, it wasn't taking me in settings to where I could find the microphone. So I wasn't allowed to unmute it. So I had to go
okay.
to this other device. But what I'm saying is that was taking me out of the flow, right?
Right.
Ah,
Yep.
Because I started to get on about 7:01 and now it's 7:20 something. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I could really get upset," and which I got a little frustrated because I went back and forth from meeting to the other on and off and I couldn't get it and I finally grabbed the phone. My boyfriend was using it and took it from him.
Mhm.
So, but what I wanted to put in our mind today on this Monday, and even the word is good, is what does flow mean? What does flow mean to you? Because it has a lot of different meanings, I think. Miriam, I didn't hear what you said at the beginning, but when I say flow, just give me like one or two quick sentences and let me hear what comes first to mind for you with the
I
word
think
flow.
of I think of continuation. I think of water. I love water. So when
Yeah,
I think of flow, I think of the river with the tributaries running into the sea. That's
nice.
what I
Yes, I know flow is a very watery word and water is pretty feminine. So that's definitely one aspect of flow. I like that. How about you, Dr. Derek? What do you think of not withstanding whatever your wife said? Does it bring something to mind for you?
Wonderful. Well,
think.
when I think, thank you very much. You see, we flow together. Anyway, when 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 I think of flow, I think of the one thing that flow everything in creation together, and that's the flow of
That's a
love. The
yeah.
flow of love, because if we really look at it, when we were created by God, and He said, "Let us make man in our image and in our likeness," and all of that. It was to highlight the fact that the love that comes from God had to flow also to us. And so,
And so we are a part of that love. We are made in that
mhm,
image and we're part of that love. I like
that's
that
right.
idea. I asked my PT girl, my physical therapist today, because I was thinking about this, and I said, what is flow? When I say flow, she's working on my leg. I said, when I say flow, what does it mean to you? And she thought in her frame of reference, Dr. Derek speaking in the spiritual realm of being one with God, which today's word is oneness. I'd like to read it. And then Miriam was saying in the flow in a watery sense, and she said the movement. That's what she thought flow was. And water is movement, right? And
Mhm,
she also said the lymphatic system, because our lymph glands and our
mhm.
lymph vessels have to push the lymph fluid. I mean, flow, you can think of blood flow too.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
you and so there's many different ways. When I thought of flow when I started writing about this, I actually thought of being open. I thought
Mm.
of being receptive, that
Yes.
to let something flow through or to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there, and if you think of it that way, then that could be meaning being in sync,
Mm-hmm.
allowing.
Mm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
I also did think of the watery, and another way of flow, a word that I connect with the word flow is flexible or
Mm-hmm.
flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love it if the audience wants to say anything to you, to in the chat, to each other, about what that word might mean to you. Because if we think about flow, let's use the example of the water that Miriam mentioned, like the tributaries becoming a great river. But then you think if they dam the river, and the resistance to flow when they put a dam up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we dam up a lot of things. We do. We dam up our thoughts, we dam up our emotions, and we dam up our actions and don't stay in flow many times. So
Mm.
that's like the antithesis of flow is resistance or
Mm-hmm.
blocking. So we can't live without our airflow or our blood flow very long if you want to bring it to the very physical level. And also, when we're out of flow with, as Dr. Derek said, our oneness, our love, we don't last well either. We don't exist well without it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we don't know what really being in the flow is, you can flip it and say, where do I have a lot of resistance in my life?
Mm.
What do I have trouble with that I might be blocking with my resistance? That can be with money, right? Or with a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. It can be with a sibling. It could be with a health problem. But when you have resistance to what is, when we can't accept it and go with the flow, go with what is, I think that's when we really, that's when we either stagnate or going against like natural laws, and where we get in trouble, where we get to
Mm-hmm.
crisis.
True.
So,
We're looking to see if anyone is responding to what you're saying.
I see Dr. Karen. Happy to see you. Happy New Year. Thank you, Nancy. That's sweet of you. Um, Yeah, so I try to be in the flow, even though I definitely have resistances to certain people. I have judgments, and I get rigid in the way I'm looking at things. And when I get that rigidity, I get, I dig my heels in and I get stubborn like a donkey or a mule. I don't want to change my opinion, and I'm waiting for their behavior to show me that they're like I'm judging them,
Mm. Mercy.
waiting to catch them doing the thing that I know I hate about them. That's
So
pretty
you
consistent.
so you become rigid and you're looking for ways to put up more block. So
Yes,
you're resisting the flow in that respect. So
yes,
so the question is, when you resist the flow, when you get restricted, aren't you resisting productivity in some aspect of your life?
yes. You are, because you're not moving forward or doing anything. You're
Mm.
creating roadblock. And have you heard of this? What you resist persists.
Mm.
What you resist persist.
Because you're blocking it. You're not letting it pass through you or get moved forward or anything. So it's just sitting there, sitting there, sitting there, right in front of you, blocking everything. So you have to look at it and do something with it to allow it to move out of just that resistant phase. So looking at things, where do I always have problems? With what person? With what aspect of my life? With what body part, even? And see what is it about that. Like, I really don't like it, and this is getting kind of philosophical, but I really don't like when people say you create your own reality. I do like it. I like it in one sense, but what I don't like it about it is if someone I love is sick, I don't want them to feel guilty like they're creating their own reality. Do you know what I mean? That makes
Mm-hmm.
me feel bad. So there's some little twist in there that's not perfect, but I will say, as far as resistance in something, if you can look at the areas of your life that you have resistance with, you'll be able to get great insight into whether you're in flow with that or not.
So look at where resistance is. And then once you find that, you're able to remedy that aspect so you can flow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
like
And
like we suggested in our group to write a forgiveness letter, for example. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't mail it, the fact that you took that time and did it, you're unblocking a little bit of resistance. You're,
Mm-hmm.
you're unblocking something that has been hindering you, that you're unplugging from something that's draining you. Resistance
Mm-hmm.
is draining. I've said this before. I think I said it in this group. Like holding a beach ball down underwater. Think how hard that is to
Yeah.
that from rising to the surface and going on its way. You got to wrestle it down and hold it down and put a lot of resistance. And that's a lot of energy we're using in really not a very productive manner.
Productive.
So I think that when we have resistance, it's a clue. And when we get that clue, we can decide, do we want to grow up with it and go beyond it, or do we want to fester and put a lot of energy into something that's really not serving us? Does that make sense to anybody?
Mhm.
Definitely. So, what are some of the techniques that we can use for personal productivity in especially now we're talking about we we were putting up resistance. What are some techniques for personal productivity that we can get back in flow?
I like pairing something you like that you do often with something that you want to change. What I mean by that is, well, I'll do it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I love to feed the birds. I enjoy feeding the birds. I like getting different kinds of feed, trying different feed. I like seeing the birds. So I like a lot of different parts of feeding the birds. So I should pair something that's hard for me to do when I do the task of feeding the birds. Do you see
Mm-hmm.
what? So that when I go to do something I like, I can add on, oh, I'm going to call that person I don't really feel like talking to and just talk to him for 2 minutes. And then I'll get to feed the birds. So,
So pairing something that you enjoy doing, you're passionate about, with something that you have a little resistance to, it helps to take the edge off that thing.
Right.
and get it.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's good. See, I used to do that with teaching my kids, but a lot of times I'd give them the a reward first, which isn't smart
But
because
that's
then
another
might
way
not,
too.
they might not do the thing you really want. So so don't feed the birds first. Do the phone call first, and then you reward yourself with feeding the birds or whatever it is. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So I think if people use little habits like that, like let's say you really like having coffee in the morning, but you really want to also do walks. Well, maybe you're going to have to drink a small cup of coffee that makes you want to have two small cups, but you only have one.
Mm-hmm.
And you do whatever it is that you don't really want to do, your steps, or go mail this letter or check whatever your thing is, your email or something, and then you can have the second part of that cup.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So you have to be gentle on yourself, but also make sure that it's a small thing that isn't that hard for you to do, and you give yourself a reward for it.
Mm. Well, reward first is not necessarily incorrect, you know. I remember in college, the professor said to us before we start the class, before the first day of his class, he said that you all already have a A. Now, it is incumbent upon you all to keep that A.
Hmm.
So it all
Yeah.
depends on how the reward is being used. If you use it at the beginning, you have to ensure that the person knows that they are getting a reward and that they will need now, since they have the reward already, they will need to keep the reward or
Mm-hmm.
maintain the reward. You
Right.
understand? So it was
Yes.
a little bit more encouraging for us in his class. It was a little bit more encouraging.
So see, that's one way of looking at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he says you have this privilege, now keep this privilege.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're old enough, that was that in college though.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, see, by then you're not just thinking with your emotions. You've developed your intellect enough to follow that line of reasoning, and want to be accountable and responsible enough to do it. So you could do it because you were in college, but I don't know if you could do it if you were in junior high school. It depends on how much discipline you have to start with, because I'm not good with discipline, but I'm getting better at it now. Now that I want it, I'm going to reward myself small things when I act more disciplined than I have been. And I think that that will make me feel good about it, and want me to encourage those actions. What does anybody here have that they think they have resistance to, whether it's exercise or some habit or some thought pattern or mindset that you get in, that isn't really, like as Miriam said, productive or helpful? Does anybody
You,
have does anybody
you
have anything they want to put into to the chat or bring up? And I do
you can
see.
type it in the chat or you can speak. Let's see what they have here. Nancy said, that is very true, Derek. If you don't like something, don't do it even for money.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Um, Maxine says, being in the zone, fully engaged, and focus, like surfing wave moving with energy.
Right. That's another way of being in the flow. Exactly. I like that. Being in the zone is like you're flowing with everything. And I think, I mean, we watching the Olympics, right? A lot of them
Mhm,
zone, they're just like flowing through their thing,
mhm.
especially those skaters. So I want to read this thing for today's word and tell me if you think this relates to it because of what Derek said about oneness and being one with God and the love. So it says, I am one with the one. I am one with the one. Sometimes my mind feels crowded, deciding, planning, doing. I'm thinking about what to eat, what to wear, what has to get done. But even in the daily distractions, I know there's a threshold I can cross. I picture a doorway between scattered thoughts and quiet clarity, and with a breath I can step through. On the other side, I remember I'm not separate. I'm one with God, with divine presence, with my higher self. Resting in this awareness, something is revealed. I'm not just in the presence, I'm one with the presence. Then a greater truth unfolds. I am one with all that is, every person, every leaf, every star. There is no separation. I trust I am one with the great love, the one great love that blesses us all. And then it says Galatians, there is no longer male or female, Jew or Greek, slave or free, for all of you are one in Jesus Christ. So I guess if we're in the flow, right, we're one with everything.
So if our vertical connection is aligned, God first, then our horizontal. This is horizontal, right? So if our vertical connection is, we must be aligned vertically. God first. So once the love of God is flowing to us and through us, our horizontal connection then will be aligned and we will be in the flow. And then whatever is happening or restricting our flow, we will feel it because we will now be misaligned
Mm.
or we would be out of alignment.
And out of alignment, they can say makes you out of sorts too.
Yes, yes.
You get irritable, you get discombobulated.
Frustrated.
Yep, quickly, and you get frustrated easy. Yep. So why don't we do a little flow exercise before it's too late? Um, so I'm going to close my eyes for a minute, and if you can just sit comfortably, get comfortable enough so you can feel the chair or whatever it is supporting you on your back, and let your butt settle into the chair or the couch, wherever you are, and just let your feet rest fully onto the floor. And as you feel your feet on the floor, you wiggle your toes a little. See if you can feel all the 5 toes on each foot.
Mhm.
And then open your feet to feel the earth under it. You have the feet, you have the socks, you have shoes or not, then you have the floor with the rug or not, then you have the ground, and then you have the deep middle of the earth way beneath your feet. And just be aware of that, the middle of the earth. And you can connect yourself with some kind of a cord to the middle of the earth if you want to. And just feel the flow of energy through your feet and in your legs a little bit. And then be aware of the big expanse of the earth miles under you, supporting all of us as we stand on this planet. Feel the flow into your feet, into your legs, and then your attention down into the middle of the earth. That's your earth energy. Now let's bring some earth energy up from the very middle, the very depth, the very deep central core of the earth, consciously in our mind, with our will, bring it up through your feet, that deep earth energy, and bringing it up through your feet, bring it up through your knees, up into your pelvis, and just feel that earth energy in your body, around your belly button, say. And when you breathe in and out, you just feel that earth energy really grounding you. Good. Now, let's take our attention to the stars above our head, to that deep, dark darkness, that pitch blackness with those starlights shining in it, and feeling that big expanse of energy over your head that's in the cosmos and the sky and the heavens, and bringing a little bit of that deep darkness from way above your head down towards you, down towards you, lower and lower until it gets into the top of your head. And you can almost sense it in the middle of your head. So that wide, dark expanse from the sky coming down into the middle of your head. And then that deep, grounding, earthy energy that came up through your legs is in your lower body. Now bring the head energy and the body energy into your heart and just let it mix there. The male cosmic energy and the feminine earth energy mixing in your heart, feeling it, seeing it flow, seeing it kind of circulate together, and feeling yourself as a conduit, as a pipeline, as a connection from top to heart and bottom to heart. And as you feel that energy mixing, expanding your breath, flowing like the blood is flowing out of your heart and into your cells. Just feeling that flow. And maybe even smiling to that flowing energy that's going into your cells. And as you smile into your cells, you're in sync. You're in sync with the energy that fuels us, that makes us move, that helps us flow, the universal flow, the oneness, our connection to the oneness, riding that
All
riding that wave of energy. So that's how we get
wonderful.
sync. Yep. We're all our little light beams.
Relaxation.
All right, wonderful. That was awesome, Dr. Karen. Really appreciate that flow. But just before we close, do you have the last comment that you want to make?
We are one. We are Let's get in positive flow with each other so that we can just circulate good energy for this planet. That's what our hopes and dreams should be.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Karen. And just as Queen Miriam was saying earlier, that if we don't have that vertical connection to God, which is the center of our lives, whether you believe or you don't believe, because if you were to take a space rocket and circle the earth in whichever way you want to circle the earth, you will not find any rope, you will not find any chain, you will not find any wire, you will not find anything holding up the earth. It's the love of God that holds everything, that sustains everything in place, so that the sun don't crash into the earth and the moon don't crash into the earth, because all of these cosmic
galaxies
are well,
or
these matter
yeah,
that circulates in the galaxy or circulate in our solar system. Most of them is much larger than the earth. The sun, for argument's sake, is like 70 times the mass of the earth. So if the sun was supposed to crash into the earth, then it's all over. No, that's not devastation. It's all over.
All over.
That's not devastation. That's all over.
It will be
right?
all over.
70 times, 70 times,
70 times.
That's like a basketball and tennis ball, table tennis ball.
Oh yes, yes.
Table tennis ball and a basketball. Okay.
Just draw.
Right. So let us recognize that when we connect to God and God pour His love in us, then He's expecting us to pour out our love to humanity. And if every one of us was to do that, all of us was to do that, and love was just flowing, there will be no war.
Lovely pot of love.
There will be no war. Husband and wife would not fight. Parents and children will not fight. And co-workers will not fight.
It will be a very productive environment.
Productive environment.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So and just in speaking of this and having these quiet moments together, we plant a little seed, we add a little bit to the mix, we push the needle towards more positive flow just by time spent together. So it's none of that's a waste. All of the goodness comes out of those small seeds of goodness and feeling that love flowing from one another. So that's very true. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Karen, for sharing with us. And thank you so much, everyone who have joined on the meeting platform and those who have joined on the varied YouTube channels. We really appreciate your participation. I know there are some people who do not comment, but afterwards they will call and they will share that that was a lot of meat. So sometimes we may not see them commenting, but I've gotten calls and text afterwards that whatever was shared, it was profitable. So Dr. Karen, thank you so much. And I'm sure that for people who have seen it, their stress level must have gone down a little bit after working through today. So it was very good.
Everyone, thank you so much. See you next time.
Peace, blessings, enough love to all.
Once again, thank you so much for sharing today on Mindset Monday, and looking forward to seeing you next week, Monday, for another episode of Mindset Monday.
Amen.
Will you stay to listen?